Okay, so we are now live, going to continue with the game engine, and this is gestures part 2. So what we got to last time is we have, let me get the controller out, trusted Xbox controller. Need to have food after this as well. I'm gonna order some pizza. We have the detection of, like, if we move it left, right, up and down. They seem to work pretty well using a very primitive technique of just checking if it's beyond 90 or minus 90. So, it ranges between, minus 100 to 100. So assuming we're just looking at the one half, as long as it's 90% of the way along, we're just going to say it's detected as doing that gesture. But that's in one axis. What if we want to do it in 2 axes and we want to do a gesture like this? So let's say we want to move it left and then rotate up. So that's where the difficulty that I'm currently having lies. Still trying to figure that stuff out. I'm going to do a bit more Googling, see if what other people have done. Let's search on YouTube as well. So let's have a look. So apparently this guy is doing a PS5 and Xbox Series X restock today, and part 4 trailer of Sabrina is out as well. Okay, so I will probably end up mentioning Jonathan Blow on the stream, and this is worth a watch as well. So pretty good this deep fake was on Tron. Okay, so we want to look at video game. See, gesture, if you put that, it comes up with something like on iPhone when you do some gesture, or when you're just using something like leap motion and doing a gesture in mid-air. That, we're not looking for that. So again, we got some leap motion here. What we're looking for is just very, very basic. Okay, so you got some PlayStation Move stuff. I loved when this came out. This was fantastic. Yeah, these controllers, not were but are amazing. Like, the precision of these controllers is insane. It literally is like that. It literally is every single movement, which was great, because I think that's the way they, showed off the Wii before Wii Motion Plus, and obviously it wasn't quite the same. Okay, so not video game gesture, so joystick gestures. Again, it'll probably be a different type of joystick, the one that you have for like flight simulators. But let's have a look at what we have. Yes, I don't know why hers is appearing on joystick gestures. That's the face model that does, what's the name, in The Last of Us. Dina, that's it. Okay, so none of this is really that useful. Let's have a look at these two. Trying to think.
I think Jeff Johnson, creator of finger gesture.
That sounds dodgy.
Right now the joystick is static, so if you go to the edge, it doesn't really care. It just stays where it is. However, I've added a new property called follow speed. The joystick basically smooth follows the touch where feature things.
This gesture feature on the joystick, I think this is one of the most exciting features that I'm implementing, for the simple reason there's not much out there. Therefore, I might maybe not straight away, package this up into its own sort of file that people can use for other sort of joystick like stuff, whether it's a digital joystick, a virtual joystick on a phone, or a physical joystick, or anything else like that, because there really isn't stuff out there. But once this is done, this is going to be reusable. Trying to think, would some sort of interpolation help with the joystick stuff? I don't know. Okay, we got detection of it moving left. We got detection of it moving right. Let me see what happens if I do this. If I try and detect left and up. I don't know, maybe this works, maybe it doesn't. Maybe this is all we needed all along. And okay, so we're gonna change this to both to left stick, not that it really matters, both to right stick, up and left. I mean, the other thing is speed as well, but we're not gonna I need to turn the controller on because I can't do any detection without turning the controller on. Controller's on. Okay, so that ain't gonna work. That won't work. Let me whack this in the update method instead, because at least in there you will constantly print out instead of only when there's input. Okay, we got 6 viewers. Welcome everyone that is tuning in. Yes, so I have thought of another gesture that we can do, and that is basically the diagonal gesture. So there'll be, let me open up Paint again. If we have one of my lecturers at uni, he used to love Paint and PowerPoint. He was like, those are two of the best tools for mocking stuff up. In infants, they are pretty, but like especially Paint, I'd say. But the way he used to go on about it, it was insane. You always have that one teacher that just loves these, two tools. So it's never eat shredded wheat. That's the, I can't remember what synonym or what that's called, but what the English terminology is. So this right here. So if I go to red, this one right here, so moving that way, moving this way. Again, these are useful things to have in there, and I feel like if I do implement these features, it may unlock something else in my thought process that allows me to figure it out. I am going to take a picture of this amazing picture, drawing. Okay, so now let's implement northwest. Implement northwest. 1 second. Okay, so let's do this. We can just implement it right here. Extend this, so beauty of having this. So should we call it left up, or should I call it north east? But then realistically, if I'm doing northeast, I should name them left, right, up and down as northeast as well. Let's do northeast for now. Left up. Left up. And we're gonna say else if. Actually, let's just copy and paste this. Else if is left up. And as always, if you have questions while I'm doing this regarding this philosophy, life, programming in general, let me know. I've got my phone open here and I can see the chat. I really should put this on charge as well. Yep, got a USB Type-C cable. Let's whack the phone on charge. My beard just touched the mic. Barely a beard. It's more of a Fidel Castro beard. Really that bushy beard even to the end. Okay, so we are doing left up, and first of all we're going to do the x-axis. And I'm going to say if it's less than -45, and then we're going to do the y-axis now, basically the same thing, but for y. I don't know if this is gonna work. We'll find out. We shall find out indeed. Let's comment this out. Let's whack this here. Let's delete this extra line. Let's delete this, put this all on the same line, and let's put left up. Control Shift F5 to reload. May I ask what type of game you're creating? So currently we're not creating a game, we're just creating the game engine using SFML as the backbone of it. It might get ported to SDL at a later date. Once the game engine is done to a good standard with a lot of features, especially common features features that are common in a lot of games, then I'm going to work on some basic games like Breakout, Pac-Man, Pong, just some basic ones, clones of classics. That I know will allow me to test the engine a lot, and then I'll need to rework the engine. I'm sure I will need to add new features, remove stuff. Once I've done that, then I will work on a game. That's 12 months away at least. It's a long-term process, and this is a series I would love to keep going for years and just keep developing it, and make the odd game through it. Yeah, that works all right. Okay, so let's do it for the others as well. So let's do right up, left down, right down. No, nice indeed. So copy and paste this. So left, let's do right up. So the y-axis ain't changing, the x-axis is changing. Now it's going to be greater than 45. Now let's do the gap there. Press enter twice, hence the gap. And we're going to do left down. Left down is still less than negative 45 but greater than 45. Then we're going to do right down, and this is going to be greater than 45 and greater than 45. Okay, so let's give this a little test. So we want to do right up now. Let's give it a test. Vulkan or DirectX or something else. So I'm using SFML as the foundation. That's built on top of OpenGL. So not really using OpenGL, but technically the engine is running on OpenGL. This is not a low level, game engine coding series. There are stuff like that out there, like the stuff from Molly Rocky, who used to be called Handmade Hero, the Cherno. I don't know if he's done live stuff, but there's a lot of low level stuff. I've done low level stuff in other series, so feel free to check them out. Okay, that one works all right. Let's do right. Let's try right down while we're on the right hand side. Not that it actually makes any bit of a difference. Okay, that works. And now let's do the same for left down. And then there's not a problem I want to fix, but it's a problem in coding at, the way we're coding it in terms of extensibility. Okay, that seems okay. Okie dokie. So we're gonna say, if we go to joysticks, see we've added these here, left up, left down, right down, and we need to add these for the right stick. So I'll just copy and paste that there. But you see, that's just a bit unmanageable, because realistically it is the exact same apart from the axes. That is literally it. So what I'm going to do now is create an axis, and I'm going to call this axis, and I will say, I will literally grab hold of this, put this here. I need to format the document. No, it actually sorted it out all right itself. And we're going to say axis X and then axis Y. And we'll say axis X equals, well, it's axis : X. If we will also do one for the Y. And we need to do U and R. So U and R. U and R. Now I've got a comment in the chat. I will check that out in a second. I'm gonna comment this bad boy out. And now let's change this. These two axis X. I will copy. Oh, it's gotta literally just copy this, to be fair. Everywhere that I have it. Fair few places, but we do it this once. It's a lot easier to extend now than after. Okay, so I want to confirm this is still working the way it should be with, let's say, left down. That's still working. Let me try with the right stick. So as you can see, just by doing those extra axes, the diagonal axes, gestures, left down. Yeah, I'm happy with all of this. Okay, that's enough testing done on this. We was able to make it more efficient in general. So when we add any more gestures onto here, if we get the other ones working, we won't have to worry about, you know, extending it for both, because this is it. And it means when we add potentially more sticks, more input methods, it's all good to go. Okay, so we've got a comment. Let's say G, okay, KK, G tie. Thanks, yeah, you are welcome. We've got 14 people tuned in. There we go. 14 people tuned in. Oh, 15 now, almost at the 16 mark. This is very close to the highest that we've ever had. The streams are going very well. I'm very appreciative of everyone tuning in and spending some time with me while I code. Okay. I'm just gonna go and get a snack. I'll be back in a second. So be back in a moment. No, big man Cosmo plays says, can you run it? We can. Oh, can't. you that error, you fix it after. That's all there is to it. And we got some gestures, that's all. We just did the diagonal gestures. So northwest. This cursor is always very hard to see. I think they need to improve that. Whether there's some properties. Do I have paint on now? Surprise. Yeah, so we just implemented the northwest gesture. So if you move your analog stick, yesterday we did left, right, up, down. Today we just done diagonals. So this is what we've got so far. So just so you can see what snacks I just bought. Pack of Oreo, just 2 Oreos in this pack. There's a caramel Wacko. It's not very caramelly. I don't like caramel. It says caramel, it's not caramelly. And a Chunky. Both of these are from Aldi. Trust me, the Chunky. Oh yeah, that is where it's at. Also, I know I just came, but I gotta go. That's fine. It's what the stream's all about. Just come and go as you please. I'm actually being serious. I'm not even taking a piss. So yeah, good to have you here for those few minutes, and enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah. They got those gestures working. Still trying to get the other gesture working. Really, because that's not a smooth. It's not moving in one direction. Whether that's one axis or multiple axes, it goes along one axis and then it sort of goes around and reduces the axis. So really what we would need to do is something like we will need to do the x-axis from 0, if we're doing the left one, to negative 100. Let's say, yeah, like negative 90, negative 100. That's either way, that's not an issue. And once we've detected that movement, we need to detect the y. Ooh, my mind's taking away here a little bit. The y-axis going from 0, roughly 0 to again negative 100 / negative 90, while the x-axis reduces to 0. So that's basically minus 100. That's reducing to 0, but that's going up to minus 100. Again, we're not factoring in any time stuff on here at all. This is purely, you can take as long as you want, as long as you just, so like if we're doing the movement like that, you don't just, just start squiggling about, you gotta restart the movement. I guess the first thing we could do, this thing, don't want to food while I'm doing the stream, using the keyboard. Look like a serious retard eating food right now. Okay. I'm gonna whack in it else now, because I'm not even naming that gesture yet. We're gonna say if is gesture triggered. So we're gonna actually do this check first. No point doing the check if we can just do a function call, and we literally need to pass in the joystick ID. we need to pass in the analog stick, and the direction is going to be direction left. Okay, if that happens, we're all good to go. Then we need to detect if it gets to let's wipe all of this. Okay, so if we do let's do a brush. So if we do this one, we could potentially break this up into chunks. So we could potentially say this, which is -50. And this is X. This is -100. This is X again. Love's from Turkey. Love from the UK as well. And this right here, which is the endpoint, is 0x. And for the Y, we're looking at -100 Y. Again, this is just for this one gesture. If we flip it in both ways, they will be slightly different. But once we got one working, the others will fall in line. So 16 days. Okay, so we should, let's break this up into, it's always so hard to see this cursor, man. Can I change this cursor at all on here? It doesn't look like it. Then we're gonna do, let's do these ones as well. Let's say, if I say this one is no, let me simplify this a bit. Zombie Chanel's channel says, not Chanel, Zombie channel says, is this SFML? It is indeed. The game engine is built on top of SFML, and when a developer interacts with the game engine to make games eventually, me or someone else, because it is open source so anyone can use it, you will not interact with SFML, you interact with the game engine. But yes, it is built on top of, you know, thingamajiggy. SFML was one of the first frameworks that I used when I was at uni. I remember using that very vividly. Okay, so this is going to be 45 for both. Negative 45, negative 45. Negative 40. Nah, I'll put it on the outside. Negative 40. 45x. Negative 45 y. Okay, Herdingens has entered the chat room, the ultimate moderator. Hello, Herdingens. And Zombie Channel says hello. Yes, we are at 16 viewers now, and 16. I wrote 16 here as well, so 16 viewers is the most that we've had, plus 16 has a significance today, because it is how many days left till I get married. Okay, so welcome, Dingens. We are having some snacks. Had some Oreos, having a Aldi caramel wacko. It's not very caramelly. Don't like caramel, so if it was, I wouldn't be having it. And a chunky. Trust me, the chunky is where it's at. Let me have a little treat. Now we are slowly getting there with this. And what I'm also feeling is that once we get these, once obviously we get one gesture done, the other ones will fall in line. What the hell is it with that colour? Is that chocolate always that colour? It's a bit light brown. This is pretty old. It's not. I'm pretty sure this is out of date. Let's try it. Still soft. Feeling fine. Congrats on the wedding, man. Thank you very much, Masatos123. And Niku says, hey, how are you doing? All good. Yeah, it tastes alright. Well, what I was saying was, obviously once we get this gesture done, the other three like this will be done very easily. But also, once we've done this, we could actually improve the other simple one, not axes, but one direction gestures, using some sort of intermediary interpolation thingamajiggy. Let's have a look. Can I detect when the joystick is moved? I can detect the position, but I want to actually get a, because you know the way you can get a is pressed event. Can I get the same thing for joystick moved? If I can, that's gonna help out a lot. Joystick. Joystick moved equals event dot type. Let's try this. Let's put a stdc out. Joystick has moved, and now comment this out. I need to do Command Shift F5. I just want to see if it detects joystick movement. See, yeah, that was the thing. If I run it again, I'm not moving the joystick, but obviously a little shake will trigger it. But this still may be usable. If we detect movement, then we can detect. Then we can say, is it less than? Oh wait, I just realized that I used to watch your tutorials. Which tutorial did you used to watch? Okay, so we are getting close to this. Let's just do it all here for now. So if it's moved, then we're gonna say if event dot joystick move dot joystick dot axis dot I'm guessing I'll do the Yoda condition after that. I'm not really fussed about that for now. No, I'll do it as I go along. If it is a joystick axis then we'll say pixel perfect collision is one of them. Yeah, that was a pretty popular video. I think I've got on the list, haven't I, for the to do to add pixel perfect collision. Before I did. Maybe not. Might worth adding it. All I do is blow here. X movement. Okay, so let's detect this. Okay, so it detects X movement. That's good. That's very good. So once we got detection of the X movement, we need to next check if it is, let's say, because we can implement some sort of clock system after. But the chocolate has got stuck in my throat. If event dot joystick move dot position, I'm gonna assume that this is most likely an array on the axis in range. But which axis? How would I even know which axis for it to be on? Let me just print this out. I know you just posted and you said you've got a question. Just give me a second. Let me put this in. Or potentially her Dingens can help out if you are still here. That was very interesting. Why if I did Y? This doesn't make sense to me. Actually, okay, so it's based on where the previous detection is. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay, so I have a question. Do you know how to make PS4 controller vibrate through C++ code? I wasn't able to find an answer anywhere. I do not. If you look, I've got rumble right here. So once I've done gestures and dead zone on analog sticks, I'm going to look into rumble. So I'm hoping to be able to get rumble in here. It might end up being an SFML thing. It might just be something else that I implement into the game engine. So yeah, that is something I will be looking into as well. Not yet, but like I said, I don't know anything top of my head that has it. Because, you know, these sort of features like gestures, vibration, whatnot, unless you're using a bigger engine like Unity or Unreal, you just don't have access to them. It's just assumed like, yeah, if you're gonna create anything half series that has that, requires that, then you'll just use an engine like Unreal or Unity. Okie dokie. So yeah, still got good stream health. The axis is stored in the joystick event struct. Cool. But it still seems a bit weird to me the way it's working. Maybe it isn't, but it is to me currently. So now that we can get the movement, we want to detect if it goes beyond 50. So we're gonna say is if this goes beyond, it goes less than negative 50, beyond towards the, going toward infinitely towards the negative direction. So if the position is less than negative 50, make sure this is working the way that I want it to. Yo. Okay, so that's working the way I want it to, and I'm actually going to start implementing a clock here. So I'm gonna say clock, and we're gonna say if it detects movement, I'm gonna say clock dot reset. Let's say it has to be half a second for now, and clock dot get elapsed time dot as seconds is less than 0.5. Probably too long, but you know, for now that's what we're gonna say. And then we're gonna say yo. So that means we get an error, and that's because as seconds is a method. Should know by just the actual way that is named. I made that mistake a few days ago as well. No, that don't work. Okay, might reset it. We would need some variable. Some bool. Bool is moving if is moving equals false. And I'm gonna say is moving equals true. And we're also gonna say okay, let's try that. Okay, so let me see what other events there are. Then a stopped moved event. That would help if there was. We're gonna say else if the joystick goes, let's say, greater than -10. We're gonna do a reset. Doesn't actually matter resetting here. It is moving or equal false again. Yeah, I've just set it now. So obviously there's a bit of a delay in the chat, so literally as soon as you message that, just wrapped up. I don't know if it's gonna work. That did not work. Let me try something else. Okay, so it's resetting to an extent, but not fully. VC 142 dB messing up. Okay, so that seems to be working pretty darn well. So you have to actually do it pretty fast. So you can't do it slowly. And actually, I have a feeling this may even... So this right here is almost... So this is almost ready to replace the regular gestures we've already got. Obviously it's not, ready for that other more complex gesture. Check the if statement that zombie channel mentioned. It should be is moving double equal false. Didn't see that. Did not see that. Okay, thank you very much. Probably could get rid of that then. Boom, done. Let me try this. Yeah, that's working. That's working well. Okay, so that is the reason, everyone that's watching, that is the reason. See that right there? Though it gives me, it's not giving me a squiggly line at the moment. Within a second, it should do. It's not anymore. But that is the reason why we use Yoda conditions like these. Put in any constants or literals before first. It looks strange compared to what you're usually used to seeing for coding, but this is why, because you could technically, there it is. So what's the actual warning say? Sum of constant in Boolean context, consider using double equals. But the thing is that still runs, because this will still just equate to, I think, true, because it's a statement that is occurring. Whereas if I did this, if I put the literal first, you're not always going to have literals, you might just have two variables, but most of the time, or a lot of the time you won't. If I did that, it'll give me an error. It'll say you can't actually, assign this to this, because this is just an unmodifiable value. So this forces you to do the double equals. That is the reason why Yoda conditions. We got 17. 17 on the chat. I don't think this has quite up. Oh Jesus, he went high as 18 at one point then. Oh yeah. Yeah, so that is the reason why, if I show you Yoda conditions, yeah, stuff like that. I remember seeing that image back in the day. That is an old image, like years old. And they got a baby Yoda on there as well. Let me actually see what this is like. Obviously, for JavaScript, you can do triple equals, which not only checks the value, but also the type as well. Very cool type of conditional expression. Yeah, I remember I came across it when I was working at Accenture, and I remember I got there on this particular role, and I said, do you have any coding standards that I should follow, because I'll be coding soon. I hadn't started yet coding, because they were just setting a few things up. It's okay to set things up. They're like, no, we haven't. And I was like, they're like, yeah, we just sort of use these, what's it called, coding standards. And I was like, do you want me to create a guide for you? Well, I can do it. So I started looking at that, and one of the things they used, they were meant to use, or part of a standard, I think part of the standard that they adhered to was Yoda conditions. That's where I came across it. Never actually seen anyone use it in real life. Not one person. But to me, it's a no-brainer to use it. He looks buff, that Yoda does. Looks like Piccolo after being juiced up. Sounds creepy, that does. That looks like PHP. got a comment. Why not simply say if it's moving or not? Yeah, true. I can't just do that. Obviously, Obviously, in this case, we fully eliminated with the help of Herdingen's the need for any sort of condition. Because this is a very shorthand way of doing it. Okay, so we got this. If it's doing this, this is good. We should be able to do, I guess, something kind of similar. But to get to, say, less than 90, and if that's less than 0.5, let me try that now. Okay, so that works pretty well, that does. Can I, I'm feeling very confident about this. Can I just basically do the same thing again? So this is negative 45, negative 45. Can I just say, copy that and just say, if, I need to check it for both. Let's try it. Oh no, if you're going... You can check for both. Can I? How? Because of the struct. Do I need to do another, basically, check here? Because how would I actually... Because this is a float. If I can check for both, I'm very confident. Can you just, just help me out? I'm just going to pop to the toilet. Okay, I'll try that. Hopefully that works. So you're saying if I am back, by the way. You probably noticed. So you're saying if I do if we do this check here, and then if I do the same sort of check again, but for Y, I really should put the axis check first, but I'll do that in a second. If we do minus 45, I think it's minus 45 for both. You know what, I'm feeling super confident. So confident that I'm just going to go all the way and do the check again. And I believe X was 0. But I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna say as long as it's greater than -10. So, you know, we have some potential issue with the dead zone, but you're restricting the whole coast movement. That's fine. That's fine, Herdingens. That we're restricting it to when the x-axis has moved, for the simple reason that the trigger is moving. Where is it? In the left axis. So I don't see that being an issue. So that is the actual trigger. Then we'll do one where we're going the other way around. Then we'll do one where we're going up and then that way around, up and that way around, down, the that way around, down, that way around. Okay, so I don't see that as being an issue at all. Okay, and the y-axis is basically less than 90. So if I do and I say gesture successful, we're about to give this a test. What about, is this the VC thing? This is VC. That's fine. It should run now. Ooh. Right stick does nothing. I only get as far as so this. What is, but this does it not like. Is this definitely letting me do it? Let me try this. Obviously this ain't what we want, but let's try it. So yo free is never getting triggered. Let me try just to check if it gets triggered if it's below that. Like that should definitely get triggered. I also want to make sure if okay, so it ain't this. So it's to do with these. We're so close. I can feel it. See, don't like it. Doesn't seem to like that. Let me have a quick Google. SFML event check. Ah, I know what you mean. What if we did this instead? See if we did this. And change that to a Y. Will this... I don't know if it's gonna even work. No, yo, freeze not detected. Yeah, it is strange. It was close. So let me do a bit of googling. SFML event. Are they doing some search on here? No, SFML event. Check joystick. Check multiple joystick axes. I don't know. Let's have a look. A speed issue in one could potentially be it. What's U? It just doesn't even explain it. Okay, has access, no get access position is connected. I mean, I guess I could just do the static thing. Yeah, I guess I could just do that. Let me try that for Y. So instead of doing this, let me check if the joystick get axis position, and we need to provide the joystick, which is 1. We need to provide the axis, joystick axis Y, and we are seeing if that is less than -45. And if you're gonna see if it's less than -90. Don't know. Let's have a look. Okay, so we are getting that. Is it less than -90? No, it wasn't, was it? It wasn't less than negative. No, it was, wasn't it? Say greater than. See, I don't know which one of these is messing it up now. Now I'm thinking, could this be messing up for the simple reason that because I've got this checked here, that it's no longer working at all. Let's have a look. As in, like, it's checking Y now. Why is that final gesture not working? Again, that is on positive, negative 100, greater than 0, greater than negative 10 as well. I'm gonna get rid of this check. I got rid of that check just in case it might have been some okay, so let me have a look at which one of these is triggering it and which one is not triggering it. Okay, so it does not like it when we're trying to do the x-axis. Let me see if it likes it with the y-axis. Doesn't like that at all. I mean, this must be getting even hit. Yeah, that is getting hit. Yeah, okay, so something about it is just not, it does not like the axis positions. So let me actually just print out the axis positions. So I'm actually going to print this out now. Let's see what we get. And no, I need to actually now run it. Ooh. Why that negative 90? It's like it hasn't moved at all. Let me try that. Negative 90 and let's say negative 50. Again, I don't see how those values would line up, but we can have a look at that after. That's a gesture successful, but I've got to make sure. One other thing did trigger it. That's minor though. You know what might actually help is if I was to put this here. This is probably gonna mess things up. This was meant to be greater than -10 and less than -90. I don't know if we've got any gesture completes on here. The thing is, this gets the gesture completed successfully. Not 100%, but it's close. I don't really know why. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. We've made very good progress. I'm very happy with the way things have worked out, and we'll continue with this. You know, I can feel it. We are almost there. Once we get this one done, then we'll be able to do all of the other, I think 7 as well. And we'll be able to adapt the left, right, up, down, left, up, right, up, left, down, right, down to a more efficient and better system. So let me go over here. Actually, let me have a quick look in case there was something that I opened up, and you never know, it actually produced some useful answer. I finished Raised by the Wolves, or Raised by Wolves today. It's alright. I think it got definitely changed all the last few episodes. It did last. Okay, 2-3 episodes definitely did have a more alien or Prometheus-y vibe to it. Go to Xbox and PS. It's of no use. No much use either. Okay, that is it. I am going to be wrapping up this stream very soon. We've had 256 playbacks. Pretty darn cool. This has been one of the most successful streams that I have done. They are getting popular, so thank you very much. I will stay on live for a few more minutes for any questions or any suggestions anyone has. I will type in here Q&A time now. Q&A time. I will be ending the stream afterwards. So I'll be on here for a few more minutes while you think of any questions that you would like to ask me. Why don't you use SPD log for your concept bus? You could format and color them. Let me have a quick Google of that. SPD log. Header only. I like when it's header only. Probably the one file, and then nope, the multiple files. Pretty interesting. Might need to look into it. Okay, again, this will be the end of the stream. Any questions? Now is the time for you to ask. I'm feeling tired now, but at least we got through the stream. Okay, so I'm going to assume nobody has any questions. Thank you for watching, everyone. I will be doing another stream tomorrow. Tomorrow, the Friday, I will try and aim to do the stream at about 5 6 p.m. GMT, so UK time. So I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for everyone that tuned in, everyone that watched, and your feedback, everything. So I will see you tomorrow. And this has just gone red, going yellow, red. So I will